Hey, what's going on YouTube? Mr. Football here, and today I have 5 ways for you to become a starter in football. So this is a new video series that I'm going to try out and see how you guys kind of like this style of video. I used to do these a long time ago on my second channel that I had way back when, but it was more of player help kind of videos, motivation style videos, just anything to get you going for the season. And just, ways from my perspective. I come with the perspective of a player and a coach. So today I have 5 ways for you to become a starter in football this year. And all of these 5 things I'm going to go through can all be expanded on further, but I'm just going to kind of hit the main points of it, and we can discuss more. And there will probably be a video, going beyond this, and what do you do as a starter. Anyway, my first point for this is be a sponge. And what I mean by be a sponge is take in all the coaching that you get. So the whole thing of coaching is just getting, and from my perspective, is to get our players to understand what we're trying to teach them to do. And the simplest things like, how you line up, your role, your job on every play, knowing the plays, knowing the correct technique, all factors into you getting on the football field. Because personally, as a coach, if a player to me is not like mentally, physically, and like prepared to go out on the field, like they're putting themselves in harm's way. So I want you to be a sponge. I say like I want you guys to be like you're my players, but anyway, you have to be a sponge. And what you can kind of go above this, and which could actually be a 6th point that I could add, is to ask questions. Don't ever be afraid to ask questions. Don't be ever afraid to ask teammates questions, your coaches. Like, I want kids to ask me questions. I don't want kids to not know what they're doing. So always ask questions. It's just a great thing to do. Second point is be a practice player. Be a guy that's dependable in practice. Be there, show up on time, do everything that you're asked in practice. That's just kind of one of those things that, being a practice player is, doing your role. Whatever your role is in practice, you've got to do your role before you can become a starter. If you're on the JV or the scout team, there's a process you have to go through to become a starter. It's not just one of those things where you're just given the starting role. Like, as a starter, you have to maintain that role. So just being able to start, just because you're physically better than everybody else doesn't always mean you will be a starter. You've got to be a practice player first. Third point is take advantage of every rep. There's going to become a time when football does not happen anymore, and you have to take advantage of every single rep that you get on the football field, whether it is the practice field, in the weight room, on the game field. No matter if you're lining up against somebody, you've got to take advantage of that rep. And every rep counts, even though, there's sometimes where, we can get into a whole thing about taking plays off, which is definitely a big thing that I can elaborate on. But take advantage of every single rep that you get on the football field. Every time that a play happens, take advantage of that moment. My 4th point is to put in extra work. And by putting in extra work, you can improve your fundamentals, whether it's catching, throwing, any type of special teams work, putting in extra work, kicking extra points or field goals or punting. That's all extra work you can do. As linemen, you can work your footwork steps. You can, that little bit of extra conditioning all goes into, being able to play all 4 quarters and whatnot. So putting in extra work is definitely a big help towards being a starter. And finally, be a team player. Everybody that plays football understands that football is a team game. It is not a one-person show. If all 11 are doing their job, the team can do wonderful things. I've seen it happen. I've experienced it, and I've also experienced it from the point where if everybody does not do their job, or if 1 or 2 people mess up, it starts to go bad, and it can show very easily. So be a team player, and that's kind of what I'm going to leave you guys with. And being a team player simply means doing your role. Another kind of saying that I have is do your 1/11th. 11 guys on the football field. If you do your one job, you took care of what you're supposed to do. and now you have to rely and trust on all of the other 10 guys to do their job. Be a team player. So that's what I'm going to leave you guys with. There's definitely going to be some more questions you guys may have, other concerns, which you guys can comment down below. But make sure to follow me on Instagram. We do a lot of giveaways here on this channel, so you can kind of keep up with what's going on. So definitely leave me a like, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time. Thanks for watching.